Welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the pardon me, is better than the after party sometimes better than the live stream portion, pardon me. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, I understand sometimes even I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can make these comments or questions during a live stream. I'm talking about the questions or comments in the chat box. You can always put a question or comment in the comment section, but during the live stream, we just deal with the chat box. So like I said earlier, I do these every Monday and Friday evening. So come in during the live stream and post your question or comment then. And if it's not convenient for you to stay, I know it's late for some people and extremely early for others. And so we have an audience that just watches the replay. So if you want to come in during the live stream, post your question or comment, and then come back and watch the replay, that'll be great. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos and contest coverage, matter of fact, Sparky is at Brodak, that's in Carmichael, Pennsylvania. He's been there all week, I think even since last weekend, filming. He filmed the clinic with Tom Dixon and other flights and other events. I know he's had a problem with the Wi-Fi or wireless out there. So, but still, if you enjoy all that and you find the value in it, you see it's entertaining, give us a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And also consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account. So I'm not asking something to do that I'm not doing myself. And hopefully you see the value of what we do and you want to support it. And if you can't do that or don't want to do the monthly subscription, you can do the super chat right over here, which is right below the chat box. It's a big $sign. You can donate any amount you like. Now, I forgot to mention, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Those things do not cost you a penny, but they do help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Now, by the way, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. It's not mine. I come here, I host the show twice a week, Monday and Friday nights. I set it up and then stream it live onto YouTube. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot of me flying his beautiful Junar XL. It was orange back then, and the plane flies beautifully, and it's light. It was really a treat and a joy to fly. I wish I wasn't so careful that I didn't want anything to happen to it. But I maybe could have done even better if I would have went down lower and stuff like that. So, but anyways, check it out. And if you want to subscribe there, that'd be greatly appreciated. and like there as well, I appreciate that. But if you comment there, I have a question there. See, I'll get notified and then I'll be able to respond to you quickly. If you have a comment or question here for me, unless it's during the live stream, I won't get it. Okay, so I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post the link at Stunthangar Forum, and it's posted right now. Great, that's done. And let me go to the what I call the control panel, and hopefully we will have. Oh, there's some people there already. Let me get to the control panel. I see that we are streaming. That's good. Let me see here. Let me get to the what I call the control panel. My internet is a little bit lagging, so I have teenagers here, and all the iPads and all the electronic devices they're on. Anyway, so looks like yeah, we are streaming. Looks good. Excellent connection. Let me fix something real quick, and I'll get to the chats momentarily. Looks like Howard is making his way in here, and Steve Smith. That's great, wonderful. Hey, Howard, you made it in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It's
and
good.
Steve Smith, I actually see you.
Yeah. I finally put a camera on my computer. Hello, Howard.
You've grown whiskers.
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether
I had them last year at the Nats.
Oh, I didn't know. I was busy getting electrocuted. There's a dog.
Yeah, that's my daughter's dog, Border Collie.
All right. So let me catch up with the chat box, and I'm sure people are going to come in too as well. So we have the T-Bone 1260. He gave us the thumbs up. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. And Tom Rammel, he provided us a like also. And Stephen Smith, hey, thanks, Stephen. Charles, I do not see the link on the bench, but obviously you found it. Thank you very much. And Gary Sinclair, who's a member of our YouTube channel, he provides us a like. And he also, he's the monitor. So he's the one who's going to keep some of those trolls out. So anyways, welcome, Keith. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you coming in, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Hi, Charles.
Oh, Keith.
Let me start with Howard. So Howard, what's been happening with you? You've been flying on Circle One?
A little bit. We had a contest last weekend.
Great. What was the name of the contest?
The Stuntathon.
The Stunathon. Wow. Very good. So how was it? Was it well attended? How was the facilities? How was the weather?
Good. No. Fine and okay, respectfully.
All right. So how did you do?
I won.
All right.
Well, it wasn't very well attended.
Yeah, but still, hey, you know what? You put up the best flight. You got to go to war with what you got.
That's right. I had a good dog.
Yeah. So you flew your new dog at the. Oh, great. Now, was this your first contest for the new dog?
No.
Okay.
No, flew it last year at Big Deal contests.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Let me see. I think Stephen Smith came in, and hi, John. I do see you, John, and I do see you, Gary Sinclair. Stephen, so you left Brodak's or you didn't go?
No, I didn't go to Brodak. Sparky did.
Okay. Okay. So what you been up to, Steve?
I'm sorry, what?
What have you been up to? You been doing any building? I know that Sparky fixed your vector, but have you been doing
that's the only thing I've been flying lately. Mark Hughes helped me build it, and then I messed it up at Denny's contest by striking the prop, which broke the motor mount. And so Sparky went ahead and repaired that, and I've been flying it since, and I'm having a good time with it.
So did you fly with Sparky gone, or you didn't fly this week?
No, I flew with Sparky on. I flew with Mark Hughes once or twice, and my wife usually goes out there with me. She does wood carving.
Oh,
And so
wow.
she brings her kit, all of her knives and wood and stuff, and she sits there and litters the ground with wood shavings, and so she'll help me fly if no one else is out there.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool. So what have you been working on as far as flying? I mean, what have you been kind of, I know you know the pattern because you judge it all the time. And
Yeah, I'm planning on entering intermediate at the Nats.
oh, great. Great.
So I figured there'll be maybe a dozen judges out there to try to get back at me.
Oh, at least. I mean, the circle should be complete with people with a
With
clipboard
clipboard.
and score sheets.
I'll make sure of it, Steve.
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, thanks for coming in, Steve. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Let me see.
I'm still going to judge the main event, though. I'm committed to that.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So nobody's going to be off the hook.
So
This
Keith,
is my little dog, Val.
he just wants your attention, it seems like, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's not happy if I'm sitting anywhere and he's not in my lap.
Well, that's neat. That's great. So let me ask Keith a question. Keith, have you, I think last time we spoke, you was going to put top coat on your big job. Did you get that done?
Yeah, it's done.
It's done.
Looking for a good day and try to go out and fly. At least I'm gonna run a tank through the engine. See if anything falls off, but it's ready to go out.
Well, can we see it?
It's there on the desk. Yeah.
Oh, very, very cool. Very, very nice.
Yeah, it's all together. And ready to go.
Very nice. Oh, that's beautiful. It came out excellent. So how many coats of top coat did you put on?
One,
And is it urethane or is it?
it's a urethane, totally fuel proof.
Oh, okay.
And this thing came out, I don't know why, it's about 4 ounces lighter than the first one.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to see this thing should fly.
I got to respond to somebody here real quick. Hang on 1 second, gentlemen. I'm hang on. Just 1 second.
Time's up.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Appreciate that, man.
I
That's
just gotta
pretty
keep it straight.
Pretty
I know,
plain.
I know. You guys just check out Keith's plane while I take care of
It's a
this.
good looking job. Yep.
Well, it almost looks like, hey, I have a color here, I'll stick it on, and found another color, we'll slap that on and we'll see what turns out, but it came out okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And found some Zora props already painted black. I think they look kind of neat. I'll put some tape on this for the yellow. Just for looks more than anything. I don't know, have you ever seen Zora props? Black?
I
Zora
love
props?
Zor props.
Huh?
I love Zor props.
Yeah, well, there's sort of a magic prop for this airplane. 13.6 works really good. Maybe cut down to 12.5. But we'll see how this goes. It's a different engine. This is a engine that was sent to me to replace the last one I broke. And comes from the same stable from Roy Trantham, set up by him. We'll see how it works.
Very nice. You mentioned it's 4 ounces lighter. What is the total weight all up?
It's 48, just over 48 ounces right now.
Wow, that is nice.
The first one was 52.
I think you're going to be tickled with the way that flies.
It should make a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
So
What's the wingspan?
What's the wingspan on that, Keith? I think it was
50, 56 or 50, 58. It's
Thank
not
you
a small
very much.
airplane. 580 squares.
Well, I look forward to seeing it. Hopefully I'll see it up at Las Vegas. Thank you, Keith. Appreciate that. Oh, wow. Let me see here. So Gary, how you doing, Gary?
Pretty good.
Good, good. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And thank
Yeah.
you for being the monitor. I appreciate you keeping up on the chats and all that. Watching out for the trolls and that kind of stuff. And speaking of the chat box, we have Marcel Legrand. He says, hi, Charles. The weather here is rain and cold, so nothing to do but build and listen to stunt school. He calls this stunt school. I like that name, actually. Like an online stunt school.
I'm Marcel.
So I think, John, you might have came in next, John. And thank you, Dave Hall. Thank you. Sorry about the inconvenience. So, John Miller, what you been up to?
Oh, I just got done doing a big gig at the county fair. It's kind of fun. We start out with about 25 people there. By the time we finished up an hour later, we had over 100.
Very good.
Yeah, we
really good.
were having a good old time.
I bet.
And I'm tired as all get out. I woke up 2:30 this morning, couldn't get back to sleep, not feeling well. I mean, I don't know how long I'll be in here tonight.
Well, hang in as long as you can. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys being here. Looking forward to getting some more information about the big Brodak meet.
Yes, I know we have Dennis out of Missing here. Maybe you can share some insights to that. And we have Stuart Morris. I think he came in next, Stuart. How you doing, Stuart?
Good. Yep.
You been doing any flying or building?
Not too much, and windy up here too. So actually Sunday's looking like a really good day. So we'll get out then.
Very, very good.
Fixed all my crashes.
Very good. Very good. Well, that's good that they can be fixed, that they were just total losses. That's great. And let me see here. I think I don't know who came in next, but I think, well, at least on my screen, I have Dennis out of Missing. So Dennis, how's Brodak been?
We're doing really, really good. First off, am I coming through okay? I think
Yeah.
my connection might be a little funky. All right. Today's Friday, and it's been an amazing week again. I've had a really, really good time. Lots of adventures with the weather. We had 2 days with a 3-hour rain delay, and then today we had a 1-hour rain delay, which was far better than what was forecast. Winds have been challenging. They've been really tumbly, really turbulent and everything like that. Today we got to see Mark Gerber's new Bearcat.
Oh, man.
And just say that the chat room pictures don't do it justice. All right, it's just a really, really exquisite job, fabulously done. But Mark had his he had his hands full with the wind, and he actually bailed out about mid-flight. Thought he just waited out, but so he'll have another chance to fly tomorrow. And on the Pampa stunt, they do one round on Friday, one round on Saturday. So the forecast for Saturday is supposed to be better than what we've had, wind wise and rain wise and everything else. So everybody's pretty excited about finishing on a high note there. So let's see. Since Monday, I personally have had a pretty good week. I have 1 first, 3 seconds, and a third. So
Wow.
And today I'm getting let's see, today I'm taking a whooping. So but I still got one more shot. I'm like that mouse that stands in front of the eagle. You know, that last great act of defiance. You know what I mean? You ever seen that?
Yeah, the last great defiant act, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm flying the Mobest, which is a darn good flying airplane. But, you know, I'm flying a profile with it, and it's just, you know, it's like taking a knife to a gunfight. I mean, nobody takes it seriously, even though it really does fly well. But I left enough points on the table here to be, you know, to be sorry about it, and I'm trying not to leave any points on the table tomorrow. That's all.
Right.
Had a couple of practice flights, and of course they were better than my official flight was. Of course they were.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll probably forget everything I learned tomorrow, you know, by tomorrow. So, let's see. Entry is down a little bit, I think, but for some reason it seems like we've had a lot of interaction, a lot of people talking and chatting and socializing, which of course, you know, that's probably the biggest reason it's, you know, the fly-in. And in that context, it's turned out really, really well. Let's see. I was asked to lead the memorial service last night, and it really meant a lot to me to do that. So we had a real good, I think, pretty good recognition, you know, remembrance, you know, modelers we've lost along the way here, and people seem to be comfortable with what I did, and so certainly happy with that. Mark Wise, Will Davis doing your usual outstanding job, you know, organizing, running the event. See, last couple of days they were flying scale. And see, they started a week flying carrier, then they were flying scale, and they finished up combat today. And I think not sure what else we have left tomorrow. I think there might be one more scale event and stunt, and that might be about it. Probably be doing awards around 2:30 or so, and on our way home. So,
Oh, wow.
but
Sounds like
we had
a
a real
fun.
lot. Yeah, it's, you know, we had a lot of people show up last night. Joe Daly, Mike Pelko, who hasn't flown in a long time. He's here. Constantine, don't even ask me to pronounce his last name. Constantine Baj, that's what he wrote on the scoreboard, but it's like Balashenko or something like that. You know, he has he builds molded airplanes, and they're just absolute works of art to see. They were sitting last night in the appearance judging, and you know, I knew that there were joints where the wing joined the fuselage, where the stab plugged in and stuff, and it was like, okay, let's see if we can find the seam. You know, it's just beautifully done. There's a real nice overlap seam on it that turns out fabulous, and airplanes are light and stuff. And then one of his friends from Canada, a gentleman named John McFadden, he has one of them also. Same level of quality, different color scheme, more Canadian themed, maple leaves all over and everything. It'd be great. I don't know. It's the Brodak fly-in, which I say is as much social event as anything. Tonight we had our chicken, you know, the chicken dinner like we always have on Friday nights, followed by the junkyard wars. And this year, all the participants had airplanes that were, instead of making them out of old wood crates and stuff like that, that was there.
Right.
But they're using a lot of that, the plastic corrugated material. Looks like corrugated cardboard, but it's plastic. And probably a little easier to make an airplane out of that. Let's see. Will Davis has his grandsons here, that 8 and 6 years old, and they're both learning. The 8-year-old has been flying in the beginner events. And then today they are doing the basic flight thing, you know, where they're basically training kids and stuff. And this was absolutely too precious to comprehend. At one point, the 8-year-old had his hand over his little brother's handle, helping him learn to fly.
Wow. Yeah.
The 8-year-old with the 6-year-old. Then a
That is-
little later, Mike Palco's son, who's 5 now, he stepped into it and he was flying with the help of the 8-year-old, the big kid,
Nice.
and it was like, you could just see all the eyes in the field, just everybody stopped what they were doing. Like, oh, this is it, man. This is the circle of life right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And yeah, so it was just, and these kids, I mean, they're like little kids. They were having a good time. And they did the Junkyard Wars fly-in. Danny Banjak, he dragged all of the little kids out in the center circle with him, and he passed the handle to each one of them flew his Junkyard Wars airplane.
Wow.
It was just absolutely heroic. I absolutely love when that Danny does things like that. So, see, he had his Dynajet out last night, as usual, right around dusk. So I cannot imagine what the neighbors to the Brodak, do when he lights that darn thing up. But he had his Dynajet stunt plane was out. I don't know, just the whole litany of stuff. I've been spending a lot of time with Phil Bailey and stuff, driving each other crazy. So we're having a good time. Counting the Pathfinders. I mean, Santa Claus there has got to be said. There's got to be a lot of cha-chings hanging in there, but
Yeah.
lots of Pathfinders still. More this weekend. So
That is great. That is great.
spent some time in a museum, which is really, really, really well done. And I don't know. It would be just one more reason if you come to the fly-in. It's just one of those things that you have to do. It's on the must,
Yeah,
the
you
must
got
do
to go
list.
to Brodak's. And I'm so glad that I at least been to one. And I would encourage
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
to go. It's probably one of the
Mm.
best experiences in the hobby you'll have.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Could go on waxing ecstatic about things that uh, of all different degrees and stuff. But it's been a good week. And tomorrow we go home, and it'll be good to be home. So yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Thank you for
so
that
yeah,
coverage
you've
of the
been there.
event.
John's been there. Keith's been there. I'm not sure who else we got. I can't see a gallery here, so I don't know how many folks we got here. But
I was there.
lots of you folks have been there. Yeah, Gary, you were there.
Yeah.
So
Any
recommend it.
word on next year if it's going to continue?
So far, so good. Buzz Brodak is still having a really good time with it. She enjoys having us there. Although, well, Mark told a story, and I wasn't sure if how serious it was, but he said that he'd inquired to Buzz about, hey, maybe we could do this twice a year, and Buzz said, don't push it.
Yeah. I bet.
So John's son was there tonight, and he says that she's still enjoying it and still wants us to keep coming back. So
Oh, that's great. That is.
I had somebody ask me, actually back in my brother back in Detroit asked me, is this the last one? I says, I've attended at least 3 last ones so far. It was every year they say, well, just one more. And all I know is that someday it'll be the last one. And
Right.
I will say thank you, Buzz and the Brodak family, and we will move on. Simple as
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I have a comment that's kind of funny. William Chapin, he says Dan Banjak would fit in perfectly with 8-year-olds.
honest to God, he's the Pied Piper out there. And whoever made that comment is absolutely dead on.
Yes.
He is dead. And especially, he got them out. They're lined up, like tallest, the next tallest, shorter, whatever. They're all lined up there and everything like that. After the Junkyard Wars, he's got a Flight Street trainer. He dragged that out. He was teaching a couple of kids, and this one young lady is there saying, "Gee, I wish I could have got involved in that." I said, come on." He said, "Hey, Danny," says, "this young lady would like to meet you. And can you help her? Help her out?" Well, heck yeah. So she went out and she flew. All right.
Oh, that's great.
She was 10 or 12, give or take, something like that.
Oh,
So
that's great.
I think she had enjoyed it too. I
Oh,
never taught anybody how to fly, and I'm envious and awed by those who do have the patience for it and everything. Will Davis does a great job with it. And of course, Danny's, does it. That's great stuff. So,
that is great. That is awesome. Let me catch up on the chat box. Greg Biswick, he's a member of our YouTube channel. And he said, he's also a monitor as well. He says, Marcel is a master builder. So that's pretty high praise from Marcel. And Marcel is a good builder, no doubt about that.
well, Marcel with a lot of time on his hands sounds like a really, really good thing, even though it's summertime and stuff.
And then Philip Bailey gave us a like. And then William Chapin said, Dennis, I think I flew the second to the last flight on the pink Sig Magnum that your dad and Pete Bergstrom were working with in 1998. I flew it just before Pete had the problem with it.
That's something. That really is something. That's neat. Yeah, I had actually that's a story. I had actually built that, for my dad, and I built it because I wanted to see if I could build something with a plug-in wing, and had an idea how I wanted to do it, stuff. And so I did it with a Magnum, and it turned out pretty good. And he used to brag about, being the daddy with his son built airplane. So,
oh, cool.
But, yeah, I guess it flew pretty well. Him and Pete, were at a contest in Cleveland, and something happened. Somebody walked through a circle or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but and long and short of it is the airplane got destroyed. The person in question didn't get hurt or anything like that, but it was just not a happy day in Cleveland, and it was really sad when all that happened.
It is.
I
remember seeing a video with Sleepy getting hit by an airplane.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He ended up going to the hospital, but I mean, he came back. I think he had stitches and stuff. So it does happen. It does happen.
It does. It does.
Let me catch up with, I'm not sure who was next, but let me say hello to Gordon Delaney. Thank you for coming in, Gordon. And how you doing?
We're doing okay. Working on my Pathfinder. Got this leading edge shooting on today.
You got what on today?
The leading edge.
Oh, the leading edge. Okay, cool.
What used to take an hour, it takes me all day now.
Yeah. I know when you can't get your fingers to cooperate, that's got to be frustrating for you and John Miller and anyone else who's suffering with a little debilitating type of things like that.
I don't know. I think it's not a race, guys. You got the skills and the quality and everything like that. Just push it a little closer to the goal line every day. You'll get there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it took me over an hour just to prep the wing to put the molds on. Radius and leading edge, make sure all the ribs are at the same height. I don't remember it taking this long before. Of course, that Pathfinder was about 10 or 12 years old. So anyway, it's coming.
All right.
Well, was that the new build or is that the one you were repairing?
The one that's supposed to be repaired is non-repairable. You could use the fuselage, stab, and elevator, but I want to change the color on it. John thinks I should do yellow again.
Yaller?
Yeah.
Well, yellow shows up against green trees real good.
Yeah. Where's the fun in that, John? Make it olive.
Yeah, a little camouflage. Yeah, make it disappear when you're coming down that for that reverse wing.
Keeps it exciting. So
yeah.
Let me
I used to fly my Typhoon like that. So yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I didn't mean to step on your words. Let me welcome David Hall. Thank you, McSlow. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you been doing since last time I've seen you or spoke to you?
Well, we've been doing a little bit of flying. I've been helping Ron Dooley get some of his equipment ready for the Nats. So it's been a crazy mix of 3 or 4 different classes of carrier, some racing planes, a scale plane, you name it. It's been fun.
Wow. Are you going to go to the Nats yourself, or you're not entertaining that?
I don't think I'm going to be able to go this year. There's too many things going on, but hopefully Ron will get all that gear straightened out. He's still got a week or 2 and he'll be able to enjoy all of them, hopefully, rather than just be pain in the neck disasters. When the planes sit in the garage, I'm pretty sure it's the Coriolis acceleration that takes the parts and misadjusts all of them. And, the needle valve that normally turns one direction, for some reason now only turns the other way. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All I could say is amen, brother. You are on target with that one. So
Yeah, the interesting one was the carrier plane that we put quite a bit of effort into. He got it secondhand, and it looked like it had a Nelson in it. So he put a Nelson back in, and apparently it came out tail heavy. So on the first flight, it looked like the lead out slider thing hung, and after some high-speed laps, it did a double touch and go, and it was pretty flat. The gear was bent up around the fuselage.
oh boy.
He got all that patched up, and we gave it another try, but then we realized one of the reasons it was so squirrely was because somehow or another it used to have a lot more nose weight in it. But exciting. I get to watch it. He hung the thing, and the engine was just singing. It was just beautiful with a Nelson 36 on it. And he got it above 90 degrees coming around into the wind, and it went vertical, and line tension went away, and the gentleman was moving backwards smartly. So, he got to back out on the ground and says, we're going to put some nose weight in it before we try it again. Lots of different gear. Good fun.
Does Ron Dooley live there by Sapota Basin?
He lives in Burbank, which is really close. Yeah, it's probably 15, 20 miles away.
Yeah, the first time I met him, I had my Colossus. And Ray Firkins beat me out of the Concourse Award the week before. And then Ron Dooley, I didn't know him at the time. He come over and he says, "Do you mind if I polish your airplane a little bit?" Well, he spent a good hour just a rubbing and a puffing. And I ended up beating Ray at that contest at Sepulveda.
Nice.
Well, maybe I'll have to take some of my old dog airplanes and lay them out on the pit area and see if he'll volunteer.
There's a plan. Yeah.
I'm laughing at you, John Miller. That's fun.
That's a great story. I love that.
Thank you, John. I know you're tired. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
See y'all later.
See you later.
Good night, John.
Good night, John.
Good night.
I think next up is Caffeine. Hey, Caffeine, I see you got your son with you. How you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good, but I've been busy with work lately, so not much of flying or building.
That happens. Sometimes life gets in the way.
Yeah, I will have to travel to Qatar on next Monday for like 2 or 3 weeks, so that's going to be very long. No, so I think it's I'll be back on September for flying, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's a hobby. It's not Can't make a living with doing it, so got to make a living someplace else.
Mhm.
Let me see here. Hey, Lynn Burrell, how you doing, Lynn?
Doing okay. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Is
Real good, Len.
Naomi back home or
Good.
she's still away?
Oh no, she's home now, but she went out tonight to an art show of some kind. So I don't know when she's coming home.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, she had a lot of fun on Stunthangar the other night, she said.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. You know, I'm hoping that she'll attract some more women.
You never know. Anything can happen.
I had to mute you, Carl. For some reason, your connection created a loop where I could hear you in the background. I could hear what was being said. So you're muted. So Naomi went to an art show. Is that right?
Something like that. If she comes on later, she can fill you in.
All right, cool. Well, I can see that's probably why she helps you with your designs of your airplane.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's the artist, not me. She's definitely the artist, not me.
Cool.
So have you been doing any flying?
We got out the other day a little bit, but it was windy, so Brad and I both went out. We got 3 flights each, but they were ugly. I mean, it was real ugly. So after 3 flights, we just packed it up and left. What I have been doing though is I've taken all my lines and all my handles for all my planes, and I'm putting new lanyards on a lot of them and relabeling them properly and getting things organized, doing some
That's
organization.
great.
Some of them are,
That's
some of
great.
those lanyards are so disgusting. It's just like, I can't, like they
Yeah.
gotta go.
Yeah, that's good. You gotta go through your stuff once in a while. How
I've
do you
made,
label?
Upgrades.
What do you
I've
use
made
to
a
label
bunch
your
of
stuff?
lanyards for the, you're talking about the safety thong? Are
Exactly.
you coming to the Nats? I'll give you a couple.
No, I won't be at the Nats, unfortunately, this time. But yeah,
And my wife
you know what
bought me
I've
a bunch
found
of-
makes a great lanyard, and it's been awesome, is lawnmower starter cable.
Okay.
Nylon.
Lawnmower
only
starter
about a little-
cable. Wow.
Lawnmower starter cable is really good nylon string that's really, how shall I say, really tough. Like it's a very tight weave, a really tight weave of nylon. It's not a loose weave, and it's perfect for lanyards. So that's what I've been using. And actually, I'll show you one. I'll go get one.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go get one that I made
All
then.
right.
I've been using parachute cord, and my wife bought me several different colors and things because she was excited that I was doing a craft project.
All right.
That's what I've been using as paracord too, in the bright colors from Princess Auto.
Yeah. I've talked to quite a few people here in Pennsylvania who say, "Hey, I watch the chat all the time," and I say, "Well, hey, why don't you join us sometime?" And I haven't had don't know if we'll get any more new people coming in or not, but people are paying attention to what we say. So
yeah, yes.
So I thought the gang would like hearing that. I hope some of these other folks join in, with us time to time. I think it'd be fun. But
Dennis, it took 3 years of nagging from my wife to join you guys because I was just shy or whatever. Because I mean, you guys were all my heroes.
You're shy, huh, Bob? I don't know, man. You're you're one of the pillars of this room, this chat room, I think. So you're actually at home tonight. So
me? Yeah.
Yeah, you got a chance to be home.
Sort of. I was flying this morning in a Bonanza. It was kind of interesting. First landings for the student, and we had and there's no dual controls on that. You flip it over.
Oh, right.
And it was kind of interesting because we had about a 15 knot, 90-degree crosswind. So after the second slightly eventful landing. I figured we're parking it.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That sounds like some challenging conditions.
I know. I'm just thinking that sounds very stressful.
And the next
Well,
thing you're going to tell us is it's probably only a 30-foot wide runway.
Nah, about 100, but 3,000
Well,
feet. Well, 2,980 feet.
Yeah, it's the old story. The runway is 150 feet long, but it's about 5,000 feet wide. So
Actually, we don't joke about that too much around here, Dennis. After in the 90s, they shut down one of the best air bases in North America. It was fourth alternate or fifth alternate for the shuttle. And they put buildings on the runway. And all that's left here is the helicopter squadron. They moved all the rest out. So we call it the world's widest heliport. So we've got about, 7,000 foot wide heliport.
oh man, that's crazy.
So let me get back to the show and tell that Lynn Burrell has for us.
Can you make me big here, Charles? There we
You
go.
are big, man.
So what I
Here we
do,
are.
so what I do is I make a loop at the end here, as you can see,
Yeah.
and I loop it over. I wrap it with copper wire, put some CA on it to seal it real good. Then I put the heat shrink tubing over it, heat it up, and it makes a loop.
Yeah.
Then I feed the line through that loop, bring it up to the handle, put another piece of shrink tube over the loose cable, push it through the hole that I've drilled in the handle, wrap it with copper wire again, CA it, and then put the other little piece, the other 1-inch piece of shrink tube over top of that one and heat it. And so it makes a nice professional sling that can
Yeah,
be
it
tightened
does.
up to your wrist, and it makes a nice, neat job.
Very nice.
It
Yeah,
does.
absolutely.
So that's the way I've been doing all of them, and I'm pretty happy with it compared to the old tie a knot in the string and wrap it around the steel bolt here, and it's no. They look all frayed and just disgusting after a while, and they're all filthy, dirty, and frayed, and it's like, oh, they all gotta go. And I've got some of them that are 15 or 20 years old.
Yeah.
So I decided we're gonna upgrade all the handles and make them all like this.
Very nice. Very good.
Len, it sounds like you're describing some of us, old and filthy and frayed.
I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
old,
good. Here's
filthy, and frayed, but
Oh, wait a minute. We got
Here's
glow
one
in
of
the
the ones
dark.
I made.
Let me make you big, Steve. Hang on one second. You are big now. Big Steve.
Yeah, I borrowed this design, but I like to make them in bright colors because they show up in the grass. So this is
Right.
the end that goes at the bottom of the handle. And I use these brass ferrules, which are actually used in plumbing.
Right.
And I got a bunch of those. And then these beads, which my wife secured for me. So you're able to cinch it up on your arm and then easily slide it off. And then this, this end goes through the handle, and you tie a knot here, and I like it.
good idea.
Very nice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
picked
see?
up some of those at the Nats.
Yeah, that's the guy I borrowed the design from. He was selling them for $1.
Yeah.
And I said, heck, I can make those. So I kept the one that I bought, and but I like, he was using maroon mostly, so I thought, I can do colors. I could do
right.
bright colors, so I made yellow and pink and orange, and
It's beautiful.
I made
Good
a couple
stuff.
of purple ones for John Garrett to match his airplane, and
Nice.
Great.
I enjoy it.
When I got that kit from that guy, I didn't understand what all those beads were for. So some of them are on there. I don't know what they're for.
Yeah, they go like that,
Okay.
and that allows this to slide. This one might be extraneous. I don't know.
Yes, I went by the drawing. He gives you a little drawing of how to set it up, and I was just okay. Well, I don't understand what all these beads are for. I can see this one works to make it smooth to collapse, but
Yeah, I don't make any white ones because they get dirty.
I
Well,
like
they
the
all
bright
get dirty, but
colors.
the white ones show the dirt, right, Len?
Yeah.
They will. I'm not too worried about the dirt. I'm more worried about the function.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I wanted something that's nice and light. Like I've got some of the bigger, thicker cable ones too. I actually got some from Windy when he got out of the hobby, and they're nice. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just that they're more than a 1/4 inch thick. Like they're
Yeah,
very
yeah.
heavy duty. And I don't think I need them quite that heavy. I mean,
You know,
I don't think the thicker ones I don't think are any stronger than this cable.
no.
Mhm.
The question I have is, has anyone actually quote used it? In other words, let go of the handle and have it crash the plane? Have they ever been tested in a real actual failure?
You know, Rusty Knowlton, the host that used to host the show until he unfortunately got ill and passed away. He used to have a problem with his grip. He'd lose his grip, and so he'd have the safety thong, and he'd lose his grip, and he was able to recapture the handle because of the safety thong. So yeah. So he
Yeah, I've
has
never-
actually used the safety thong.
Did Rusty
Yeah,
have
never-
it in a neutral
yeah.
position or on the downside like we all do?
I don't remember.
He
I guess
probably
he had it in
on
the middle of the
downside.
handle.
Yeah.
Plane would keep flying until he grabbed it again.
Yeah, Carlos.
Should look
only
up his
problem
old videos and take a look and see if we can tell. His wife has his old videos posted in her name. I saw.
Oh,
To look
really?
at
Oh,
once in a
cool.
while. Yeah. That's
The only
Holly. I
problem
believe.
The only problem with putting the safety thong at the center of the handle where it's in the middle is that you feel it all the time.
Yeah.
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 Like it's right where your hand goes. So it's a bit of a bothersome thing, but
Well,
I guess it would
depending on
work
where
if
the
you-
airplane is, you know, if you're flying something like a carrier plane or a racer and you're fairly close to the ground, you let it go, it goes down. I mean, that's the end of it. If you're flying a stunt plane or a combat plane and you're in some kind of aerobatic attitude, you might just be going, you know, a bunch of really tight loops, and you might have a chance to, you know, grab and, you know, get the grab
Mhm.
the handle, get it back and stuff like that. So I don't know. I've seen people, the only ones I've ever seen break are the ones, you know, when they pull test them and stuff like that. And sometimes the ones that are old and grody, like Glenn was talking about, those are the ones that break, of course. But
Exactly.
and
Yeah, they can get pretty.
Paul, the guy, a friend of mine, Barry Fruits, was a pit boss at the Nats. I think it was last year or the year before. He actually broke Paul Walker's safety thong, and that was made out of leather.
Yeah.
And I think the leather itself has a tendency to dry out, and you know, while it ages and dries out and stuff. And Paul was able, you know, actually to get to actually retie it in that case and use it. And I guess he fixed it when he got back to his hotel later on. But
So Len, what I've been using is, because they had it on sale at Princess Auto, was sort of a multicolored, primarily orange paracord spool that they had on for next to nothing. I probably got about 5 lifetime supplies for it.
Exactly. That'll work.
Mhm.
And you got all kinds of different cables, but I just use this one because I thought it's thinner, but really strong and light. And that's why I went with this.
Mhm.
Don't always want the
Mhm.
lightest cable though. If something's got some size to it, if you use a little bitty stuff in it and you have to actually use it, you might wish you'd used a little bit bigger cable. What she's talking about is about the right size. That cord for
Well,
starting a lawnmower.
this is lawnmower pull cord.
That's great stuff.
It's not gonna break.
No, that's the same stuff I use. It's well, what I use is actually what you raise a trolling motor with, but it's the same stuff.
Yeah. You know, my dad used to make his handles with like they're cabled handles, and he used about a 1/16 cable plastic coating on it for, you know, for the handle cable. And he used to use the same stuff for safety thong. and it fit the role and everything. It's certainly strong enough and everything like that. But I've always kind of in the back of my mind wondered, would I ever want this thing to put this thing to use? That 16th cable and hanging, could end up cutting my hand off right at about the wrist, So
It'll leave you with a mark you remember, because I don't ask.
yeah.
Don't
Have you
ask.
ever had one? Have you ever used?
Oh yeah, I had a line
line?
break. I had a line break and let go of it. I don't know how I let go of the handle, but I ended up, plane was coming at me, and you kind of lose interest in worrying about the rest of it. I wanted to get away from it, but you can't throw that. Anyway, yeah, we ended up using it one time. When it hit the end of it, it pulled pretty good, left a mark that lasted a few days, and then the plane just said. But the funniest one I ever saw, and I shouldn't say this, but I will. A noted flyer, and I'll tell you, Denny, at the field tomorrow, but not everybody. A noted flyer was flying with one on, and he crashed. And he got some addy through the handle. Well, he was wearing safety thong.
Oh,
and
no.
Came back, hit him, and he tried to bat it away. He came back, hit him.
Oh yeah. Oh, man.
It was a sad sight.
Like a moonshot.
It was so funny. He just crashed his airplane. Even he started laughing. So
yeah, that's just like a real butt whipping on yourself.
Oh man.
Hey, Steve, where did you get your cord?
You get it hardware.
My wife got it at Hobby Lobby.
Oh,
Yeah, they have all different colors of paracord.
that's a hobby shop, was it? You said
Hobby Lobby.
Okay,
Kind of a craft shop.
It's a nationwide craft shop chain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Canada, so I don't think we have that. So
Somebody else has a man eater. Isn't he cute?
Yeah,
two of them.
Steve, that looks like about 3/16 or so.
I'm sorry, what?
That cable, that cord looks like it was about a 3/16 or so diameter. Is it 1/8 inches or smaller?
Yeah, it's probably that. I never measured it.
Yeah, I thought it looked like 3/16.
3/16.
That colored all the
looks
way
like
through,
something-
or is it white inside?
It's white inside.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have to take a lighter to the ends.
I get it.
Otherwise it pulls apart.
Yeah,
The color
exactly.
pulls apart from the center white.
Nylon.
You've got some of that.
Yeah, so I
got
melt
some
the
green.
ends so that it doesn't come apart.
Stuart, you might be able to find something like that in Michael's, because we got them all on.
Yeah, Michael's I think has them as well.
I was thinking of that too because we've got one of those around. It's in chat.
You got
Stuart,
Michael's.
Home Depot has it. Home Depot has it, Stuart.
Okay.
Oh,
I've got a whole roll of green. I got it to go with the bean field, but hey, I've used some, but not too much.
Met one of your buddies at Brodak's, Lynn. He had on a bean field hat.
Yeah,
Beanfield
I
hat.
saw that too.
Yeah. I told him I'd give him $5 for the hat because I wanted to come on and wear it and let you see it. He wouldn't sell it. $10. I gave it, offered him $10. I didn't figure he'd sell it. He did. But
So
I did tease him about it. I did tease him about it. I told him I'm sorry. I said, "Do you know Lynn?" He says, "Yeah, I know Lynn." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Do you know Naomi?" He says, "Yeah, I know Naomi." I said, "Okay, that makes up for knowing Lynn."
Yeah, that's about right.
So
Yeah.
anybody want and win Paul's book, I guess they're being spoken for pretty quick.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
that's what I
I
heard.
was emailing them,
Going
and
fast.
I'm gonna have Ken Bird pick me up one with that from him, because he's going down to the Nats. Was gonna have Chris Cox do it, but I mean, that's another 14 hours to get it to me. So
there you go.
Right there,
There's a ton of it there, Lynn.
So if you need some, Stuart, let me know. I've got a whole roll of it here.
How do you have an airplane? What are you talking about 14 hours? You fly across Canada in 14 hours.
Bob, have you heard, can you pre-order the book to make sure that
Yes.
that they have one?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Email Win and let him know.
Email Win?
Yeah. I just emailed him through the Stunthangar link because I couldn't seem to get onto Facebook for Pampa ever. And anyway, he hadn't used that in years and he responded to me right away. So no problem at all.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to make sure that I get it, you know.
Mhm.
I don't know
They
how
were
many they're
supposed to
bringing
be-
to the Nats, but I bet they're gonna
What do you
sell
got
out.
He
there?
said,
You
he
got
said
the-
they were planning on 100, but they're probably going to be expecting to have to bring more.
Well, they
Mhm.
also said that the publisher is going to be at the Nats and has agreed if he needs to go, he'll go back to, I've forgotten where, and pick up some more.
Yeah.
What are you showing us there, Stuart?
Hey, Len, remember when I crashed the blue plane? And is Len there?
I'm here.
Remember when I crashed the blue plane and I remember I said, I thought there was something wrong with it, that I lost the control.
Yeah.
I looked at, and this is what happened.
Touch
You
your,
can see,
touch your screen. Touch your
I
screen.
can't
It
see.
went black.
What's
Your
that?
screen
can't
just
see it.
went dark.
Oh, we lost it. It
Touch
flipped.
your phone screen. It
Oh,
went
sorry.
black.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry. I don't know if you can see that.
I'm not seeing.
See the line
I
here?
can't see anything.
Is that at the bell crank?
There you
The
go.
line was catching on the hole going through the rib.
Oh,
I think it jammed.
Oh,
That's what happened. Because that I've always
Okay.
noticed it not really smooth.
Right.
that's
And,
because he wrapped those lead outs just by wrapping them over top of each other.
yeah, I don't think you can see it that good in this.
Solid lead out. They're solid lead outs. Not a good plan on how to do things.
Yeah, and it caught on there. You can see it more.
I see
You
it,
can
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the hole, and it was digging
Wow.
into the rib, and then
Yeah.
and the horn or the it was actually loose. The bolt was loose too, so it was actually on a tilt, and that's why it was grabbing.
Oh, the bell crank bolt was loose. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why
That's an old airplane. I'm
I
sure it's
felt
an old
something wasn't
airplane.
right. So that's what caused it.
How's it flying now?
I got it fixed, but we'll see on Sunday.
Sunday. Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds great.
We'll be there.
Let me see here. Let me catch him on the chat box. And by the way, thank you, Phil, for coming in. I appreciate it.
Sure.
And let me see here. Oh, Jim Hoffman said he can't come in tonight, but had a good day of fishing today. And Philip, you said that Will's son did an excellent job of teaching a younger beginner. Yeah,
Yeah, that was something to see. Will's son is teaching a kid. This kid's about, what would you say, 8, 10?
Yeah, the oldest is 8, and the second oldest was 6, and Mike Palco's son is 5. They're all out there flying together. It's just, and they're being little kids. I mean, they're just kind of like a fur ball, all zooming around all over the field. So
We turned around.
and then Mom was there, and she, you talk about a saint. I mean, she's just trying to stay in the middle, or trying to keep in the middle and keep under control and everything. And
Was it you or Bob that
she got her
showed me?
hands full. So
Was
yeah.
it you or Bob that got me to turn around and look at the two of them, one helping the other fly? That was just adorable.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think I talked to several people at dinner. I think everybody kind of stopped what they were doing and just amazed, you know.
Yeah, that was neat.
So
That was really neat.
the chat box, William Chapman says the center marker was in the wrong place. I think that's something to do with when he flew the pink plane, maybe. I'm not sure. But William Chapman said he was at Brodak's in 1998.
okay. Yeah, that sounds like, I think that was about number 2. I
Okay.
think they said they started in 97. So
Yeah. Apparently that's right.
And then Bryce Rackley, who is a member of our YouTube channel, I think I met Bryce at Brodak's when I was there in when it was raining. It was Bryce, myself, and
It was raining.
I met the gentleman that did a lot of speed. I think he just passed away recently. He did he I think he designed the double diamond, maybe. He's a combat guy, race guy.
Oh, you're talking.
Riley?
No,
Riley Wooten?
no,
Not him?
no, maybe it's the wrong plane, but anyways, I met that guy there at Brodak's. The guy that never mind. But anyways, I met a lot of people there at Brodak's, and Bryce. I remember meeting Bryce. I thought, man, it's weird to be at Brodak's and meeting someone from New Zealand. So, anyway, so Bryce is saying, "Hello, Charles. Message from Jonathan Karadas. He can't log in. Are you able to help? He has been logged out. He gave me. I got something covering up part of my texts, and but he basically wants some help. So I don't know what's going on, Jonathan. The link should be working, and I can't get access to my email, or else I would email you the link, Jonathan. So my hands are kind of tied. It's like I can't get into my email. It doesn't recognize my username. Those
You're not thinking of Phil Granderson, are you?
No,
Charles?
no. I thought his name starts with an S. Okay, remember the story about the guy that showed up with the Cadillac at VSC, and he had
Larry Scranzy.
Yes.
Larry Scranzy. He's not dead.
He's not good.
He's in a rest home, but he's not dead. His wife passed away a year ago, but he's still.
Oh, maybe that's what I was
going right
confused
now,
with.
or at least that's the latest I've heard.
Yes, I met him and Bryce underneath the big tent when it was raining. It might have been a Thursday.
He is a bona fide character.
Yeah.
One of the nicest people you'll ever meet, sweet as he can be, but he is a bona fide absolute character. He can keep you laughing. He's just a nut. He's a lot of fun. There is a lot of fun.
So Bryce, I don't know what I could do for Jonathan Karadas except for just keep trying. The link is there. People are getting in. And that happens sometimes. I don't know what the explanation is.
All else fails, maybe something set up a block. I'd say, it's the 3-finger salute there, Control Alt Delete, have them advise Jonathan to restart his system, just to restart his computer and try it again.
Or try it on a
crazy.
device.
Or
try it on his iPhone
platform.
or something.
Yeah, try it on phone. Sure.
Well, thanks, Bryce, for communicating that to me. Unfortunately, I can't get into my email, so if anyone's watching and they wondering what happened, I know that Stephen, there's one guy I usually communicate with him, give him the link by email, but sorry, I couldn't get to my email, so that's why it's not present in your email box.
Sorry, guys, I had to take care of the dogs.
Oh, thank you.
Steve, it's good seeing you and not just hearing you and stuff. Thanks for joining that.
Yeah. I had the camera. I just didn't have it hooked up to this computer.
Yeah.
Since I got it, so okay, I'll go ahead and hook it up, stick it on top of the monitor, and see if I can make it work. Works fine.
Looks good. It works.
I'm glad to see somebody else got a little terrorist that jumps up in their lap and says, "All right, it's time to feed me or take me out."
So Phil, I'm sorry.
Yes,
so I was curious about your experience at Brodak. I know that you've been probably having a great time judging with Sparky.
I've had a great time. It's been a blast. I haven't had a blast with my flying. My neck's bothering me so bad. First day they asked me to judge. I was going to fly, and I said, "Well, I'm not flying that well anyway. What the heck?" And I looked up so much that I got my neck so sore. Second day I was not going to fly. Today it's much better than it's been, but it's still sore. But it's all right. With this wind and no more time I've been on that plane lately, it wasn't a good idea for me to fly anyway. But it's been a whole lot of fun. And they asked me if I'd help out. I said, sure, that's what I really came for. You've got to once in a while give up a contest and help put the thing on, or we're not gonna
Right.
happen.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because there's people that do it all the time and they get tired. So it's nice when someone else helps out.
yeah, I like
Absolutely.
that. But it's been a heck of a fun week. Bob Hunt showed up
Oh, great.
yesterday and flew a little bit today, and he's the judge. He was the judge today, and he flew some afterwards. That it's always good to see Bob. I always enjoy seeing Bob. I always enjoy seeing Dennis. When those two are there, you're gonna have a good time. I mean, that's all there is to
Yeah.
it. Because you learn a
Yeah,
lot.
Phil,
from those.
I told him earlier that you and I have been picking on each other all week and having a good old time doing that. So
Well, I've had a lot of fun. I don't know if you have, but I've had all my fun.
yeah.
I don't know really how to pick it, Denny, because I don't know really how much you can pick and not hurt his feelings. But he's too much like me, and I don't do too much picking. But I have a couple fellas with me that one of them is real good at picking. If you're around him, you better have thick skin. So I say, well, what would he do? And then I try to tone it down about 50% and then do that. But it has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. The only thing we've had that just really has tried to put a damper on everybody's week, but nobody seems to be letting it bother them at all. The wind is just the funniest I've ever seen. I mean, we all say at home that Hobby Park is the worst place we've ever flown for the wind, but we're sure glad we got it. But this place has Hobby Beat.
Philip, I bet you haven't been to Booter Park.
Well, you're right. I haven't, but I want to go. But Buddy was flying, and he turned around and asked me, where the heck? And I said, he's trying to figure out where the heck the wind is. So I turned around and I grabbed up some, you reach down and pinch some grass to hold it up. And I waited till he come around toward me, and I dropped it. One piece went direct to my left. One piece went directly just straight out in front of me. One piece hit me in the nose. I thought, what the heck? I looked around at that stick that's going up. It's got that piece of crepe paper flag on it. So help me goodness, it's going straight up.
Wow, yeah, that's some crazy wind.
Yeah, that sounds like
the wind's
Booter
coming
Park.
over and just rolling. It's just rolling through. And at that point, it was rolling up over that thing, just pushed it up. A second later, it rolled around and came back flying sideways. But for that instant that I looked up, it was going straight up. I thought I've been flying since I was 9 years old. That's the first time I've ever seen that. But anyway.
Well, Phil, if you're enjoying lots of wind, you ought to come up here. Man, we've had it.
It's too cold up there. It's too cold up there for me.
Oh, I don't know. The last week we've been pushing, we're well into a heat wave. It's just finally cooling down. We were into the 90s.
Oh, that's too hot.
It was brutal.
That's Florida.
But yeah, we get extremes. Tomorrow is supposed to be nice and calm in the morning. And I was wanting to go out and fly control line, but then a customer wanted me to fly a real airplane. So I was going to do that with her, and my damn truck broke down. So I'm going to be fixing that. It's about what should be about a 5-cent clip. You have to buy the complete cable assemblies for it, or order a package of 10 of them on Amazon and get it in 2 weeks. So I'm going to be making a part tonight for it.
Bob, where are you? What part of the country?
Edmonton, Alberta.
Oh, you're up in Alberta. Okay. Is the fires anywhere near you?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, that's where they all started up here in Canada. It was Alberta. We've had this heat wave and drought.
Oh, wow.
It's been brutal. We finally got about a week of rain on and off. Well, last couple of days really on. So that should help out some, but there's still a couple of communities have been evacuated a couple of times, and one of them's getting it again.
That's a shame.
I have a friend who's a firefighter in North Carolina, and they're battling some big blaze there this week.
Yeah. So you guys know I ducked off to Vancouver last month and visited Chris and the guys. Well, at the end of next week, I'm heading off the other way to Manitoba and have an army reunion, and then bury my dad's ashes near there. And then I'm going off to Winnipeg for a few days and fly models with Kevin King and Paul Giddle and Dennis Sadak. Looking forward to a really good time. Hopefully the weather's
like a good week.
flyable.
Bob, are you close to Bruce Perry?
Absolutely. He lives about 20 minutes from me.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Have you
Yeah,
seen?
he's not going to the Nats this year, but Ken is.
Oh,
Ken
okay.
Bird.
Oh, Ken Bird's classic airplane was so beautiful. Oh my God.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's a work of art.
Yes.
That has Bob Hunt drooling.
Mhm, mhm.
I don't know if he's taking it down to the Nats or not, or if he's just taking his new dark side down.
Yeah, he came down when Bruce Perry came down to get my twin.
Yeah, yeah.
And came down with him. It was kind of funny. Jim Aaron heard that he was coming over. Well, Jim says, well, if they're coming down, I'm coming up. So I had Ken Bird and Bruce Perry and Jim Aaron staying with me.
Excellent. Yeah, they had a great time there. We heard about it for the longest time.
Yep. And I saw a video. He finally got, we tried to get the Gemini going, but it had the whole top of the tank was rotten out. And so he switched everything over to plastic tanks and he's got it working really well.
Yeah. I haven't seen it fly yet. I saw a little video of it, but I haven't seen it in the air out at the circles yet. You know that, and it's too much. It's just too much out there. It's just so impressive.
Yeah, well, I still have my original is hanging on a rack. It's got all the autographs from VFC on it. Everybody there, I let them sign the airplane. And then we cut the lead outs off it.
Did you take some close-up pictures of it all there? And so just in case something ever happens?
We did.
Good.
Yeah.
And I'll watch him decide to fly that airplane again. It'd be like Bob Whiteley. He cut the lead outs off his laser. And then there's some contest came up. He's trying to figure out how can I fix this? How can I fix this?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to fix cut off lead outs. Ooh.
Oh, he said he cut into one of the bays halfway in the wing, soldered some new, ran some new ones in, tied them and soldered them together. I think he said he bound them and soldered them together, something like that. I can't remember, it's been years ago. And then fixed where he cut it. He said you could tell it if you looked, but if you didn't look for it, you didn't find it. And Bob, in his own infinite way, when he was telling me, I thought, I bet he did just that. You probably couldn't see it very much. He was a heck of a guy. He was quite an interesting fellow.
Yeah, I miss Bob Whiteley.
Yeah, first time I met him, I thought this got to be the most arrogant individual I ever met. Then I watched him, and he could back up everything he said. So,
yeah, of course, I never got the chance to meet him, but I've been mistaken for him a few times. I've gotten some PMs from people wondering if I'm him.
Yes, I know.
No, he's passed away.
Yeah, I said, hey, I never knew you were a Canadian.
Yeah. I thought he lived in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then you have Bob Whitney also. He must get a lot of mistaken identity.
Florida, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with him quite a bit this week too. He's been judging and flying and stuff. He's a lot of fun too.
Did you make it over Perky Circles and watch him?
I did not see the Perkies. I could hear them, but I didn't go see them. So
I wish you'd warn me when you go over there, wear your earplugs. Wow, those things are loud. They're ear splitting. Wow.
Yeah, I was there talking to Bob about Keith Trossel, actually. I guess they used to be together on the Air Force teams, and so it was kind of interesting hearing some of the stories there too. So
yeah, I'll tell you what, Boyd Hawkins used to tell stories about them on the Air Force team.
Yeah, that's a different era. It's one of those things. Just one more of those things, one of the way stops along our life here. So
yeah, a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun. Met some interesting people through toy airplanes.
Yeah, when I'm going down to Winnipeg, I got to travel a bit light. We're just taking the little Scion, so I picked up one of those soft top rooftop carriers for it, the weatherproof things.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cheap on Amazon, 150, and it's well worth the money. But see what I can squeeze in for airplanes. I'm thinking if it'll fit crossway angle wise, maybe my Oriental, and throw in a couple of Flight Streaks and the baby and the 15 size ones, and that'll probably pretty much fill it. But I'll just fit in whatever the heck airplanes I can, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I may have been ruined for life here, but yesterday I had my first flight on a bi-slob.
Oh, really?
I couldn't stop smiling. All right. So,
They're so much fun.
Isn't that fun?
just crazy.
Did you fly that throttled one?
I'm sorry?
Did you fly the throttled one or one with just a Fox 35 on it?
No, I flew John Paris. Well, his is electric. He can't fit it with a throttle, but we were flying it straight. So
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's really a blast. It's like, yeah, let's see. I'm about 10 feet off the ground. Do I have enough room? Do a loop?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, you do.
About 3 feet, you know? And yeah, we got room for that. And let's try it inside. Yeah. I took off upwind, got downwind, spent the entire flight there. I got the warning cut off that, the motor was ready to shut off. And I finally leveled it out, flew one lap, the motor shut off, and I landed. That's the only lap I flew in the whole flight. So,
Dennis, I've got an airplane that turns even tighter than the bi-slob.
What is that?
Designed it back in the early 60s, and it's 15-inch cord, 15-inch wingspan, the 15, and that thing will do loops around the prop. We have done tail slides where it goes backwards and actually slides along the grass and then pulls back out of it.
Wow.
Sounds like it. Well, it sounds like the flounder, flying flounder. Was it that kind of the airplane?
I don't remember the flounder.
Well, there was one. I remember a little magazine article. I think it was actually like a 15-inch cord, or numbers like that, and like a 12-inch span. It actually had more cord than span. So, but yeah, apparently it did the same thing. It just kind of flopped around. So
Yeah, I flew a flounder. That was wild.
Yeah, the challenge is try to run a gas tank out without crashing it.
Yeah.
If you fly it the way it's supposed to be flown.
Yeah.
We had an event down in, I guess it was Huntersville, maybe in Atlanta. I can't remember that. Anyway, the trick was to see how many times you could take off in the same flight. That was the goal. So what you did was tail slid the thing, just kept the rear end moving, and then of course it keeps coming down. You let it touch down on the rudder and then turn it the other way and then flop down on the wheels and take off again. Just as soon as it takes off, you go up and do it again. I don't know who won. I don't know how many times they did it, but we were laughing so hard it didn't matter. It was just hilarious.
Yeah. Any of you guys ever fly a dancing girl? Ever build one? Yeah. I was always intrigued by that airplane when I saw it back in the magazine in the 70s.
What do you got there, Keith? Make it big.
The flounder.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keith.
All right. Is anybody surprised that Keith has this?
Not a bit.
Not in the slightest.
Not the slightest. And Keith, is that kind of like I remembered it? A wider cord than wingspan?
Yeah.
Yeah. The obligatory pretty girl posing it. Yeah.
Yeah, Williamson always had a pretty girl with his stuff.
Yeah, that's similar to the one that Jim designed.
And there's a picture down here showing cutting its own ribbon.
That's pretty neat.
That really is.
Walt Williamson, he was a really cool guy. He lived in Norfolk. one time I was over at the field and he was taking pictures with a red lens on his camera, which makes the sky look dark when you're doing black and white. And so someone asked him, well, what's that filter do? And he said, well, if you use color film, it makes everything look red. And this conversation went on for some time, and he was, yeah, it makes everything look red. He didn't explain what it was really for, but anyway, it was an amusing conversation.
What was his name again?
Walt Williamson.
Yeah, he designed the Ringmaster and quite a few early stunt planes. So not the Ringmaster that's famous now, but you know, the constant cord full
The
fuse
low
model.
wing thing with the Hydro.
Yeah. Low wing,
And
high
he had
engine.
he had
yeah.
a 3-engine thing. Oh boy, what was that called? It was German markings on it.
Oh, what's Naomi got?
What do you got, Naomi?
That's my half-A scale Mustang based on an actual plane, City of Lynchburg. And
Nice.
I flew this in half-A scale at Brodak's.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
But it actually, the biggest problem I had was because we did it with a sheeted wing, it made it a little too heavy. So it wasn't easy to keep it up for the 10 laps. And it was really, really difficult to land it with any kind of, shall we say, finesse. It kind of, once it ran out of fuel, it kind of dropped like a brick.
Yeah.
And there wasn't much graceful about the landing. So, but I mean, I guess not having built a half-A scale before, I really didn't know what I was doing. And I mean, Len helped me, but I don't think he had ever built a half-A scale before this project either. So we were both kind of flying off the seat of our pants. And I think if I was to do it again, I would try to do it with a built-up wing. Like I had no actual plans for this. We took the 3-view drawing from the documentation that I found about this particular airplane and basically just enlarged it to the size that I wanted my plane to be, to this full size. And then we drew all the pieces and just built it from scratch. So, but if I was to do it again, I think I would still try to do a built-up wing with the ribs instead of doing a sheeted wing. It was just too heavy. Like for this little 049 motor, it just didn't have enough.
No 6.1.
Yeah.
That's an 061, not
Well,
an 040.
I think even with an 061, it still didn't have enough for the weight of the airplane to really be able to, I mean, it would do the 10 laps, but like I said, like takeoff and landings were always kind of dicey, right?
It's because it was nose heavy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
That
cool.
doesn't help either.
But I was so concerned about getting the actual coloring and the shape to be authentic that I didn't want to change too many things because I felt like it would take away from the scale authenticity of the plane, right? And I figure, well, in half-A scale, like you don't really have to do any actual maneuvers. You just have to keep it in the air for 10 laps.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, we'll sort of just go with it and see how it does.
Hey, you can't have done too bad, Naomi, because it's still intact.
See?
Oh,
You didn't
that's
break it.
good. Oh, I
Looks
like
good.
that.
Like you can't really see the detail, but we did like even trying to see if I can show you like the sort of like as much of the detail as we could get from the original.
Right. I see the exhaust stacks there. That looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
So my thing was because I know a lot of people like to do the camouflage warp planes, but I picked this one because I really liked, it was an actual Mustang that flew in the war, but they converted it into a racer first.
Oh, like a arena racer type of thing.
Yeah, once they retired it from active service, they repainted it, flew it in some kind of racing event. So that's why it had the more racing colors and the stuff like that. And I really liked it. I thought it was a really pretty looking airplane. So I like my planes to be pretty. So
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
City of Lynchburg.
What's intimidating for me is looking at the starburst pattern and then having the numbers over the top of that.
Oh yeah,
where you
that
flip
was
the colors.
that was tricky.
Yeah,
but we managed to like mask it out and do the, this was all done with dope, right? So we masked it off and we did the white first and then went back and did all the red.
Seeing it is encouraging because I've always wanted to build a Hall Bulldog, and it has a number scheme similar to that where the numbers flip.
You can
flip
see
colors.
we even did it on the
the wheel doors.
yeah.
Very nice. That looks really good. Wow.
And like we tried to somewhat give the idea of the retractable landing gear, but of course I couldn't actually, I wasn't sophisticated enough to actually make landing gear that actually retracted, but I tried to give at least the idea of it with showing where the wheels would have retracted.
Yeah.
What kind of engine is that, Naomi?
So 06 Norval. 06
Norval. Okay, I was thinking it's a Norval. Okay.
But it's in half A scale, you are allowed to go up to an 061 motor.
Okay.
It's still allowed. I think that might be the maximum though. Is it, Len?
Yes.
Do you remember?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Very good.
Excellent. Yes.
Keith would know for sure.
Very, very good. I have to catch up on the chat box. Actually, I was corrected. Bryce Rackley told me that it was Bryce Gibson that I met at Brodak's, not him. And there's not many Bryces around here, just the two of them that fly in Auckland, New Zealand. And he said, Jonathan says thanks anyways. And then Marcel Legrand, he says, Gordon, your planes are beautiful as well. I love your new twin Pathfinder. I've heard all about it from Brent.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah. Do you ever speak to Ray Firkins, Brent? I mean, Gordon.
Yes.
Ask him to join us sometimes. I don't have a good contact information for him, so I haven't been able to reach him.
Yeah,
He was here in Los Angeles visiting with Jerry Silver, I think last week. It might have been the week before. He didn't get a chance to come out and fly. There were some other competing things, but I believe he's still in Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have his contact info. Maybe ask him if I can get his contact information.
Yeah, I could ask him.
And Jerry Silver, I've been calling Jerry Silver and leaving messages as well.
Yeah, I talked to Jerry Silvers about a month ago. We talked for about an hour.
Yeah, I think Jerry Silver probably thinks when I call him a solicitor or something.
Oh,
could be.
Yeah,
That's it.
Ray, how he liked living in Texas, and he says, I hate it.
That kind of sums it up. That's
I understood he was
succinct. Yeah.
Interested in trying to get back to Southern California where he knew more people, I suppose, but I don't know the details. We'd welcome his planes and flying back, that's for sure.
Yeah, those are some beautiful planes. Actually, both of them, Jerry Silver and Ray Firkins, They're
Okay.
master builders.
Yeah, Jerry's been working on a Colossus now for quite some time, and I think
Wow.
Yep.
he's had some airplane attrition lately, so he's kind of motivated now, I think, to get the Colossus done. I don't know exactly what he plans to put in it, but it'll be something to see when he's done, I'm sure.
I think he's putting a Tiger 46 in it.
Well, he does love his Tigers. There's no question there. I had my hands on a 46. I think I worked on 2 of his engines. So I know he's got a good runner and a spare for whatever he plans on putting in it.
Yeah, I put a Tiger 51 in mine. You know, the Monarch snarl port. And it run. All I did is put a sprinkler type Venturi like a TD.
Mhm.
It just runs right. Flawless.
I've seen a couple of them that are really, really steady, which is, 90% of the battle. You're not arguing about the last 10% of horsepower. You want tractability.
Exactly. Yep.
I got a quick little show and tell if you want, Charles.
Oh, that'd be great, Bob.
Yeah, if it'll show up off my camera there.
Hang on, let me make you big. Is that a what plane is that?
That's a Bonanza, VTL Bonanza.
Nice.
That's a
And
V-35.
we just landed, and in my hand is my drone. And what I did was, the Canadian Owners and Pilots Association wanted some publicity pics, so I did some, because I was fortunate enough to be awarded a scholarship for $1,000 towards my advanced drone piloting certificate.
Oh, very good.
So they wanted a pic for the magazine, a little article. So I figured out at the airport would be the place to do it. And I was going to have it hover in front of me where it just auto hovers at 4 feet.
Right.
Darn thing wouldn't turn on because it recognized that I was in restricted airspace.
Right.
And it's smart enough that it just flashed that wouldn't turn on and wouldn't lift. So
interesting.
It was a good thing, I guess, but an annoying thing.
Yeah.
Could be a very necessary thing for geofencing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm doing my advanced RPAS for up in Canada. It's the RPAS is the remotely piloted aerial system. In other words, a drone.
Yeah.
And above 250 grams, you need at least a basic, which I have, but I'm going for the advanced for commercial purposes.
I assume that rating is probably similar to our, what is it, Part 105?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few differences in regulatory, but I think overall it's pretty much the same. Yeah. So eventually I'll probably be teaching this. So, person can maybe make a bit of money out of our toys, but, it's only a matter of time, I suppose, until I lose pilot license. I've been on borrowed time for the past 17 years with a heart condition. So just putting something in my back pocket.
Good idea.
Hey, Charles, can I show a blue airplane?
Yeah.
I don't remember how to do this exactly, but I could try.
So you want to bring it up on your computer first.
Okay.
And then go down to where it says share screen at the bottom of the Zoom.
Okay.
And you click that, then it looks like you got it started already. Then you select the one you want to. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, cool.
Oh, for cute.
So you guys were talking about slobbishness. This was my rendition. Am I full of screen, or is there a bunch of garbage on your screen?
There's a bunch of garbage to the right of the on my screen. It's a bunch of garbage to the right.
Let's see if I can fix that.
There we go. There we go. Very cool.
Better.
So I call this one the slow bob instead of the bi-slob.
Oh, very cool.
It's
I like the checkerboard too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's all monocoat, except for from the midsection of the wing forward is Maui blue Rust-Oleum, and it matches the monocoat so closely that if you don't look between the wings, you can't see the seam.
So
So,
you cut pieces of black monocoat on and put it on top of the white monocoat. How'd you do
yeah,
that?
the checkerboard is black squares of monocoat on top of white monocoat, yes.
And you
And
put it
the
down with
lettering
Windex,
is,
or how did you do it?
what, I'm sorry?
Did you put it down with Windex, the black on top of the? Did you float it with Windex?
Yes.
Very good. That's a lot
And I
of
was
work.
surprised that on all the joins, you know, if you zoomed in and looked at the corners, it it really lined up easy for me. I expected there was going to be some distortion problems because of the, you know, when you put the white down and it's bulging over each rib, and you figure that you'd never get it to line up. But I think if you make the squares maybe small enough that they don't go one whole rib bay, it self-corrects somehow. But
Very good. 'Cause I've used Ultra Coat to get the checkerboard. You know, it's kind of a cheater way of doing it.
so this
Do you
is
have a stencil cutter or did you hand cut your lettering on your tail?
that's all hand cut, number 11 blade, and you know, trace out your letter shapes and start cutting.
Yeah,
So
that's
here
what
it
I've been
is.
doing for all of mine too. To lift them off, I came across something that worked pretty good for me. You know that that stretch and seal stuff that's sort of tacky? Yeah, well, anyway, it's I could look it up on my shop, I suppose, but I'm upstairs right now.
I think it's called stretch
Anyway,
seal.
anyway, it's not, it's sort of a saran wrap that's a little bit tackier.
Right.
And I use that to lift up all the letters and keep them in place to lay down
okay.
on Windex. And that worked pretty darn good, actually.
Okay, that's a good hint. Let's see if I can make it go the other way. Seem to be.
And that's you flying, I saw.
Well, that was actually that gentleman there is what we call at our field, we call that thorking it. He's out there thorking his airplane as hard as he can go. That's Terry Thorkelson.
Okay.
The king of Pathfinders. So you can see here there's a splice somewhere underneath here. I don't know if it's this line or wherever it is, but I can't really tell where it is. And it's a pretty goofy thing to fly. I don't have a lot of nerve flying it. I've only flown it probably half a dozen times, but it doesn't flip equally forward versus backwards.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys have had a similar experience flying these things. I seem to remember that it goes over one way much quicker than the other.
Very nice looking bislab.
Yeah, I've been accused of a lot of things on that airplane. And one was, why did you waste your time on that? But thank you. So it was fun. Anyway.
Bislabs are fun.
Yeah, it is. One of the things that's weird about this one, I don't know, what you guys are interested in here, but when I started putting it together, I went and looked through my bin of spare parts, and I didn't have enough hinges. And so one of the things I experimented with here was I said, well, I'll put the traditional pinned hinges on the elevator, but then I'm kind of out, and I got 2 whole flaps to go here. What am I going to do? I thought about sewing them, which has always worked really good for me. And I said, well, let's try something different. I had a package of old SIG, I think it's called Easy Hinge material. And of course, in the stunt world, everybody will jump up and down and tell you that that's almost the absolute worst thing you could do other than putting in a metal clevis, and that your plane will self-destruct before you ever get it to the field. So of course I tried it. I took the easy hinges, and what I did was I skinnied them up, and I didn't cut them into, let's say, 1/4 inch strips. What I did was I punched a couple of holes and then V-cut into the center. So the flexing part is about 1/4 inch wide, but the width is the full width of the easy hinge. And so the adhesion inside the trailing edge and inside the flap is the same as it would have been. But the friction and more than that, the spring rate is 1/3 per hinge of what it would have otherwise been. So this particular plane, you can see the controls are all flopped over. Well, I can set the plane on the floor, on the ground, and the controls fall to the limit of travel just by their own weight.
Wow.
And that's with 2 flaps worth of easy hinges on it. And I forget how many there are, but there's probably at least 4 to 6 on each flap. And so I figured that's good enough for me. So
Yeah.
I'm no longer very hesitant about putting in strip hinges in planes because it clearly works.
Yeah, I have used them in stunt planes, pretty much the way you described. I just cut them into narrow strips. I did not do the V notch you're talking about, but do that. And then I usually do a monocoat seal like over the top of it and underneath it. So I get like a monocoat hinge too. And I don't know, they are very smooth. They are not necessarily fall over sloppy like a pin hinge can be, but with seals and stuff like that, they usually don't get real, they're not usually that's flexible either. So, but yeah, I've used them and no issues. So I've used them on airplanes as big as the SB-11. So.
Well, the other thing I've experimented with is we used to have a pretty significant amount of at work, a significant amount of Mylar, which was thrown out as copies of old drawings that were out
Drafting Mylar, but okay,
drafting Mylar. But this was really thin stuff, and it was had more like a Teflon feel to it than a hard clear surface. And I experimented with that, and that you'd be hard pressed to say that a pinned hinge has less friction than that did. I was just a little more concerned about long-term strength, but I used it on a half-A plane, racing plane, and never had any problems, but I've never tried on anything bigger. So this was my version of a slob, since that was the story of the night.
Very cool.
I dug out that stuff if you're interested that I used for transferring my cutouts when I was doing monocoat.
What's it called?
I'll just show you the box here.
Let me see if I can unshare or whatever I got to do,
You
Charles.
stop sharing.
Right there. I see a red button. Says
Yes.
cut that out, Dave.
And I have a question for Keith too before he goes. If you try to sneak away, Keith. Okay, yeah, press and seal. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, works pretty darn good.
And by the way, Bob, Todd Stimson says, congratulations, Bob, on the scholarship.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And Keith, I was wondering, did you want to share that airplane on your desk, or it just happened just to be there just by coincidence?
Well, been working on the presentation. Yeah, this is a scale Hughes XF11, and I'm taking it to nationals for half-A scale.
Nice.
That's great.
Beautiful.
And
That's just gorgeous. Yeah.
got 2 020s in it. It's flown a couple times, and it's a 20. Let's see, what is it? 25. No. I'll have to measure what the span is. Just a minute.
Is that the one you showed us a few months ago, Keith?
What?
Were you showing us that one?
Yeah, I showed it once before, I think. But decided it's time we'll take it to the Nats and fly it and see how well it goes.
What size propellers do you run, Keith?
What?
What size propellers do you run?
They're like whatever those. They're the Cox grade props for the 020s. They're like 4.5.
4.2 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, what kind of motors did you have on that?
Cox 020s. TD.
Oh, 020s, okay.
TD.
Yeah. So he uses 2 motors, and he's still not all the way up to half-A. So.
Yeah.
He's only got an 040 in that. So.
Your 049 is bigger.
Very nice
Yeah.
looking plane.
And
Very nice.
as usual, gorgeous, Keith.
And it's painted with class coat, and paint is the same federal stock number as the original airplane was painted with. The original airplane had all seams and filled in and rivets filled in. So you didn't see any seams and rivets on the real airplane.
That's handy for a modeler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And it's an
plane,
absolute miracle he survived the crash in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And is built for the profile scale rules out here that were in Tucson there for a number of years. So the fuselage or the nacelle for the pilot, this is only an inch wide here. And for scale, it should be about an inch and a half wide. For profile scale, the nacelles can be an inch and a half wide. Well, scale diameter on these nacelles is an inch and a half. So don't have to make it look like a profile. It complies with rules for profile.
So were you able to put a throttle on that for scale?
No. For half A scale, you don't need a throttle. You just take, like you
Okay.
said, Naomi, you just take off and 10 level laps and land. That's it.
Okay.
There are no points for anything else in flight.
I was just curious because the only scale I flew in that was like that was the half A scale.
That's what it is. So
That's what that is.
Yeah.
nice.
It's just he was saying he was flying it in profile scale, so I thought he meant like different event.
And profile scale for the contest, they had a special contest in Tucson for multi-engine profile scale, half A
Okay.
profile scale. And they set up their own rules, a little bit different than the AMA rules, where they allowed flight options. And there were two classes there in Tucson. One was no throttle control, and the other one was with throttle.
Okay. Okay.
Very nice.
The tricycle gear on a plane with that kind of layout can be really tricky for taxiing.
Well, don't have to tax. You don't have to tax.
Any breeze at all. Yeah, but if you're upscaling to let's say a sports scale event, just be aware that, you know, for those thinking about a bigger airplane, the wind catches you from the rear and it really wants to tip forward.
No, all this thing has to do is take off and land.
Very
yeah.
cool.
Beautiful.
Hey, Gordon, did you grab something to show us, Gordon, or
What's that?
did you grab something for us? Did you grab something to show us, or?
Yeah, they were talking about the bislab.
Yeah.
This isn't as nice that last biplane, but this is the bislab for the one at Jim.
All right.
It has dams on it.
Very nice.
This is my third one. They let people fly them, and so this I put a spruce leading edge, spruce spars, 8-inch spruce on the back here. Part of the dam's been broken off. Letting other people fly it. But it says flipper on one side and flopper on the other side, and it'll basically pivot around the engine.
No, wow, that's pretty cool.
Like I say, the challenge is trying to run a tank of gas through it. So,
Does it get too crazy or because it gets ahead of you?
Pardon?
The challenge is running a full tank because the plane gets too crazy or it gets ahead of you, or?
Well, if it's crazy, it's because the pilot's making it that way.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's designed not to fly level. In fact, it doesn't like level, it bucks in level flight. But once you get it slowed down and keep it on the downwind side, and
Well, that one specifically reminds me of Anderson Windows. That would be a great advertisement and sponsor for Anderson Windows.
Good point. Good point.
Funny.
Charles, I'm going to have to bail out on you. I'm sorry.
No problem. Hey, thanks. We're going to end this
Me
stream in
too,
like
Dennis.
9 minutes. So thank you very much, Dennis. I know you had a long week And I
Yeah.
didn't expect you to come in, so thank you very much. And also to you, Phil, also. I know it's been a long week and Friday night. And after that chicken dinner, I'm surprised you're not asleep. So I appreciate it.
I napped before I came on, so, yeah.
Good luck tomorrow, Dennis.
All right.
Yeah, good luck, you guys.
night, everybody. See you Monday, all right?
All right, see ya. Yeah,
See you,
thank you.
Dennis.
Monday.
Y'all have a great
See you,
weekend.
Phil.
Yes, sir. Have a great one.
Well, you know, I'm
Well, I'm
gonna
gonna shut her down too, Charles.
no problem. You know, I'm gonna shut down the live stream. So thank you everyone for coming in. And we had some visitors from Brodak. Brodak's gonna commence end Saturday. And I'm sure they had a blast. I wish I would have attended it maybe next year. But thank you everyone for coming in. I appreciate it. And hopefully you have a chance to do some flying or work on your shop this weekend and come back and tell us all about it Monday. So until then, fair wind.